Just smooth it out. All right, so finding mountain pose on the mat. Let's go over the feet for a moment. So we want to make sure we're grounded through all four corners of the feet, starting with the big toe mounds, grounding into the earth, outer edges of the heels, inner edges of the heels, and little toe mounds, all four corners of the feet. Now lift your toes, spread them out, and bring them back down nice and big. Okay, so we can start to feel the energy rise up from the earth through the soles of the feet into the legs, lining hips over ankles, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, palms facing forward, and we breathe. And then just allow your breath to deepen. All right, let's shake it out. We're going to start with a 4-part breath that's going to help open up the shoulders and the front body, because we spend a lot of our day moving forward like this. So just go ahead and shake things out for a second. Make sure you bend your knees and hips a few times. And then bring your hands to your heart. Your feet are hip-width distance apart, nice and grounded. Exhale. Inhale, fingertips up toward the sky. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, clasp your fingers, shoulder blades toward each other, heart shines up. Never throwing the head back, just let the head follow the spine. Now bend the knees and hips and gently fold forward. Decide how far forward you're going. Your hands either stay on your back or they may want to come up. Drop your hands to the mat, press through the feet, float the arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, hands heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, clasp. Inhale, open the heart, open the shoulders, knees and hips soft. We bend forward, possibly taking the hands off the back. Release fingertips down, press through the feet. Float the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, clasp. Inhale, heart. Exhale, fold. Release and float it out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And come back to your mountain pose. See if you can feel your breath moving a little better here. Inhale and exhale, and we'll start our spinal series. Okay, so with your feet comfortable distance apart, maybe slightly wider than hip width, we'll do our cats and cows. Take your right hand to your left shoulder, left hand to the right. Now gently roll forward, exhale, and then as you open into the cow, draw the arms back. This time the left hand goes first to the right shoulder, left hand right. Roll and open. Right hand first to the left shoulder, left hand to the right, forward. And open, you get it. Just keep switching which hand, which arm is in front. Roll. Open. And just move through a few more cats and cows. We started with the left hand to the right shoulder, actually the right hand to the left shoulder first. So the next time your left hand goes to your right shoulder and you do your series, you'll be even. Open up and release. All right, shake it out. All right. So I asked this question this morning. Now let me ask you. Who did cats and cows while we were on break? Same response I got this morning. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and we're going to open the side body and twisting. So we're going to do tilt and twist. We need to ground the feet for this. Left hand by your left thigh, right arm up. Inhale and tilt to the left. Just start gentle like we always do. Bring the arms up, inhale, and twist to the right. For this, we're trying to keep the hips facing forward. Inhale, up, right arm down, tilt to the right, and up, and twist open to the left. Both arms up, we tilt left, and up, twist right, and up, tilt right, and up, twist left, and up. We're going to tilt back over to the left, and up, twist right, and up, tilt right, and up, twist left. Okay, so we're going to change it a little bit here. Tilt left and hold. Now release a little bit and tilt a little more. We're keeping the shoulders stacked, just as though we were in triangle. Bring it up and tilt, tilt, tilt. Now float your left arm up. Press those left fingertips away. Take your right shoulder back. Shine your heart up. Come back to center. Open up and twist to the right. Tack your left hip back, your right hip forward. Turn your gaze towards your right fingertips. Lengthen, so lift your ribs away from your hips. Twist a little more if that's you, and take your gaze to your right hand. Stay right here, turn your gaze to the left. Turn your gaze back to the right, arms overhead, inhale. We tilt right and stay. Release a little bit and deepen. Release and deepen. One more time, release. Deepen, right arm floats up, right fingertips press away. Left shoulder back, heart opens. And come back to center and up, we twist to the left. Tack your left hip forward, your right hip back. Bring the ribs away from the hips. See if there's more twist left. Turn your gaze to your left fingertips. Turn your gaze to the right. Turn your gaze back to the left. Come center, inhale, and just let it all go. Oh, that was a lot of very controlled movement. So let this be very uncontrolled, very loose, wobbly, just moving around. All right, inhale and exhale. Everybody feeling okay? Are we good? All right, so let's come to the top of the mat here. With the feet hip-width distance apart. Make sure you have your knee padding nearby because we're going to be going into the gate pose with the knee down half moon. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Okay, you know where your hip creases are. You know if you can keep your head above your heart. You can go halfway. You can go deeper if you want. Let's bend the knees and hips, bring the hands to the thighs and shine the heart forward for a half lift. Sink through the knees and hips, fingertips to the mat, and step back to downward facing dog. And from your dog, go ahead and pedal the feet, walk the dog here, mindfully rolling through the feet. Press one heel down and hold. Press the other heel down and hold. Press both heels down and hold. And now let's try and get the knees to the mat at the same time. So control, 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 knees to mat. Sit off to the side. And find a seated mountain pose, nice and tall. Inhale and exhale. All right. So we're going to take the hands to the heart, still sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, clasp the hands behind. Roll the shoulder blades toward each other and shine your heart up. Exhale, hands back to the heart. Inhale, fingertips up toward the sky. One more time. Exhale, clasp and shine your heart up. Just opening those shoulders. And exhale, hands to heart, and release, shake it out. Okay. All right, so let's do some nice challenging core work, shall we? Why, yes, we shall. All right. Does everybody have their block nearby? Yes? All right, grab your block. What we're going to do is lay back, lift the hips, and slide the block underneath the hips. Okay, everybody has that? We're on the mat here. So from here, we're going to do toe taps. Let's start with 2 feet on the mat. Raise one leg if you're okay. No? You don't have a block? No block. All right. Let's come off the blocks. We're not going to leave it. We're not leaving any soldiers behind. That's okay. I've got something else. All right, let's come off the blocks then. Just lay back. We'll be fine. I promise. All right, so here we go. What we're going to do now then is take the legs straight up and crisscross at the ankles. Start to take your legs down. Okay, so this is nothing new for you guys. So you can feel, now as you crisscross, start to take the legs back up. You can feel the difference in what your core is doing. Bring it back down when your legs are straight up and as they get closer and closer to the mat. All right, take it back up and hug your knees in. All right, so you raise one leg if you felt the difference when your legs were here versus when your legs were here. Okay, so we know the legs straight up, the core is pretty much at rest. The lower the legs get, the more work there is for the core. So let's go ahead and take the legs back up and do that again. Crisscross at the ankles. Start to take the legs down. Now when we get within 2 inches of the mat, we'll just keep crisscrossing. And 3, and 2. Now start to take them back up. 3, 2, 1, and hug it in. All right, now we're going to do that starting from the low position. So extend your legs with your heels just a couple of inches from the mat, crisscross. Take the legs up, crisscross, take them back down, crisscross up, and stay here and crisscross for 3, and 2, and 1. All right, so that's a lot of work for the core. Let's hold on to the legs, either shins or hamstrings, and rock it out side to side. Inhale and exhale. All right, so we're going to turn that into some oblique work here. Okay, let's take the legs straight up, arms straight up, press your palms toward each other. Inhale, and exhale, take your hands to the right, both hands to the right. Come back to center and down. Roll the shoulders and head up, take both hands to the left. Center and down. Okay, now we're going to drop the legs just 15 degrees. 15 degrees here. Palms are still touching. Roll up, take the hands to the right. Center and down. Roll up, hands left, center and down. Take the legs to 30 degrees. Notice if you start to feel a difference. Roll up, hands to the right, center and down, hands to the left, center and down. Now take your legs halfway between straight up and the floor, 45 degrees. This will be the last one we do like this. Roll up, hands to the right, center and down. Roll up, hands left, center and down. Hug your knees in. Inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to do one more thing with this oblique work, okay? So it'll be a little different from what we just did. Is everybody okay? Raise one leg if you're doing all right. All right, just checking because I know we were on break. I know you focused a lot on core work while we were on break, but we're going to, I'm sure that the core is talking to you right now. Take your legs straight up, press your palms together, roll up, hands to the right. Now slowly drop your left leg to 15, 30, 45. Another 15, what's 45 plus 50? 60. 75, heel hovers. And slowly but smoothly bring it back up. Take it down. All right, we're going to do the same thing. Roll up, hands to the left. This time the right leg drops. 15, then 30. Drop to 45. Drop to 60 degrees. Drop another 15 degrees. Hover the heel. It's important now, slowly but smoothly, move it up. Don't fling your leg back up. Bring it in. Rock side to side. Bring your feet to the mat. Let your knees gently open and close. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's go ahead and roll to one side and come up to seated. Okay. So after that, rock the baby is a great way to open the hips. Take both legs straight. We're back in seated mountain pose. Bend your right knee. Take your right foot in your left hand, your right leg in your right hand. Keep your chest forward as you take your right leg side to side. Opening that hip with rock the baby. All right, now come to center. Sit up nice and tall and see if you can draw that shin a little closer. Can you feel it in your hip, in your lower hip here? Draw the shin a little closer to your chest and then release your right ankle to your left thigh. Flex your right foot. Bring your left foot in. You're in open seated pigeon position. Right foot is flexed and take your legs side to side. Now let your right foot come all the way over to the left. Okay? From here we like to make sure that both sit bones are on the mat. If your right sit bone is really way elevated, go ahead and put your right foot in front of your left shin instead of outside your left thigh. Sit nice and even here. Left hand outside the right calf. Right arm up and back. Lengthen and twist to the right. We're twisting from the waist here. Okay? Now you may choose to take your left arm up and bring your left elbow outside of your right leg. Let me show you something. If you're doing that, you're still long in the spine. We don't do this. We don't lean back to try and get the elbow to outside the knee. Okay? We're lifted. And now release, unwind, both legs forward, shake them out. Okay, I know you guys know what I was talking about there with the long spine. Sometimes, we want to sit back, lean back and think we're getting a deeper twist, but we don't want to twist from that position. Let's go ahead and take the left foot in the right hand, and with the left foot flexed, chest forward, rock the baby. So I told you I wanted to review just a few things a little more tonight because we've been on break. So just bear with me as we go through that. All right, now come back to center and draw your shin a little closer to your chest if possible. Just getting a little more stretch in that lower hip. Now take your left ankle to your right thigh, it's above your knee. Flex your left foot. Come into the open seated position. Your right foot is on the mat here. And we take the leg side to side. And let that left foot come all the way over to the right. Do your butt check, right? Are your sit bones both touching the mat, or would it be better to just move your left foot in front of your right shin? Sit up nice and tall. Hold on to your left calf with your right hand. Left arm comes up and back. Long, long spine. Twist to the left. And then decide if you're taking your elbow outside of your knee. A long spine is more important here, okay? And let's release, unwind, legs long, shake it out. Inhale and exhale. All right, make sure you have padding for your knees. We're going to come into hands and knees. Do a little child's pose, and then move into gate pose with knee down, half moon. All right, so let's come into our hands and knees here, and then take the hands several steps forward and come into circling. So the hands are in front of the shoulders, not in line with the shoulders. They're far enough in front so you have room to make some circles. And then pause and circle the other direction. And then find your way to child's pose. Remember, the head is supported. So from time to time, or all the time, you might rest your head on a pillow that you make with your hands or fists, or even a block. But make sure your head is resting wherever it is. And from here, we're going to float up to the knees and position ourselves to come into gate pose. So the knees are under the hips, okay? And the right leg is heading out to the right. So that's how much space you need. Your left knee is still under your left hip. Your right leg is extended out to the right. Your full foot might be on the mat, or your toes might be up, whichever feels better for you. Now turn your right palm up. It's resting on your right leg. Left arm up. Here we go, gate. Tilt over to the right and back up. Tilt to the right and back up. If you feel like you're hyperextending your knee, put a little bend in it. Over and back up. So that was gate. We're going to add the knee down, half moon, take it over. Now, as you come up, continue with your left arm until your left hand reaches the mat. Bring your right hand to your hip. Yeah, you're a mile ahead of me. Good. All right, there you go. Right leg up, Right arm up. We're in knee down half moon. You could even take your right arm by your ear. And release back to gate to half moon 2 more times. Gate, smoothly into half moon, or take the whole set of steps that we just took. And 1 more time, gate, knee down half moon. Oh, and then come on up, shake things out. All right, if you need to get off your knees for a second, just go ahead, come into like a half down dog and swish around, and then come back down. Left leg out, okay? You decide, foot down, toes up. Left hand is up. Right knee is under the right hip. Right arm is up, and we go gate. And up, take it gate. And up, gate. And up. Now gate to half moon. Gate. As you come up, the right hand comes down, left hand to the left hip, left leg up, left arm up, maybe left arm over the left ear. Back to gate. Half moon. Take as many steps into half moon as you want, or just smoothly roll into it. 1 last time, gate to half moon. And release. Come back to hands and knees. Come into downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in down dog. Think about how down dog can be a resting pose for you. And then take a journey, feet to the hands, however feels good for you to get there. Take a half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center, and release. All right, you guys ready for sun salutation? We're just going to keep it nice and simple. Little sun salutation. So we're going to just roll from the right side to the left side without stopping. So just stay with me. Okay, top of the mat. Take a few breaths. Here we go. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Half lift. Bend the knees and hips, bring the fingertips to the mat, step back to plank. Remember, this could be high plank or low, so knees up or down. If your knees are up, roll to the tips of your toes and then chaturanga down. If your knees are down, chaturanga. Everybody chaturanga, here we go. And we'll do a nice cobra here, shoulders toward the ears, down the spine, shine your heart forward, and just lift your hands. Cobra and release. Find your way to downward facing dog. Once again, think about how can down dog be a resting pose for you. So ease up. Try and feel some ease in your downward facing dog. Notice if you're efforting really hard somewhere and see what you can do to make this down dog a little more comfortable for you. All right, take your right leg up to hip height. Take a nice step forward and continue your journey, feet to the hands. Find a half lift, forward fold, and then float the arms out and up, palms touch. Hands come to heart center and keep going into a forward fold. This is what I was talking about. We're going straight to the other side. Take a half lift. Bend at the knees and hips, hands down. Take it back to your plank. Knees up or down. Chaturanga. Take it all the way down. Great. All right, so let's go ahead and change up our back bend for a moment. We're going to come into Sphinx. So go ahead and bring your elbows under your shoulders, your forearms to the mat. Your palms are face down, and then lift your heart and look straight forward, just like a Sphinx. Yeah. And hopefully you feel a nice stretch all the way to your belly button here. And let's release. All right, make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on your hands. Bend your knees and release your spine, just letting your legs move side to side. All right, go ahead, release the legs, find your way to down dog. Once again, feel your way into a down dog that feels comfortable to you, and breathe. It's not to say there's no work happening, but notice if there's any like real tension or straining spot, and just try and ease up on that a little bit. Take your left leg up, step forward, and continue your journey to the top of the mat. Half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch, and hands come heart center. And then find mountain pose and take a few breaths in it. Inhaling and exhale. All right, so shake it out. So we're going to do the moon salutation now, right? Which is the nice cousin of the sun salutation. We'll be including the half moon. So either be near enough to your table or wall or chair, or have your block, or none of the above if you know that you do half moon like this, okay? So is everybody good with this? Everybody has a way to do it, right? Okay. So let's start with our moon salutation, okay? You've been working really hard, so let this be kind of a fun journey for you. The feet are hip-width distance apart. Inhale, float the arms up, and of course we have our daisy. Oh, that just feels so good. Let's do it a couple of times. Daisy and daisy. Now open to 5-pointed star. Good. And turn, we're going to come into moonflower. Come back to 5-pointed star. Turn your right toes to the right, left toes in at an angle. We're setting up for triangle. Reach to the right and release. Reach and release. Reach and release. Now we're going all the way to triangle. Reach, reach, reach. Right hand down, left arm up. We're in triangle. Gaze towards your right toes. Gaze to the center of your space. And then find your left fingertips. Now with a slight bend in your right knee, take your left fingertips to your right thigh. We're in pyramid. Okay, so it's head to knee here. Now bend your right knee. Take hold of your chair, your wall, your block, or your mat. We're coming into the half moon. Slide your back leg in and up and open up. Half moon. Now with grace and style, bend your front knee, bring your back leg down, and come back into the pyramid, head to knee pose. Open back up into triangle. And come on back up, toes out, 5-pointed star, moonflower, step together, and daisy. And mountain pose. All right, move whatever you'll be using to your left side, if it's a chair or if you need to position yourself toward the wall where your left hand can touch, or if it's your block. Whatever you'll be doing, we'll start on the left. Okay, so here we go. Mountain pose, arms up, daisy. Step open to 5-pointed star. Come into moonflower. 5-pointed star. Prep for triangle. Left toes forward, right toes in at an angle. Reach and release. Reach, left. Reach. Now reach, reach, reach. Come into triangle on the left. Take your gaze toward your toes, your left toes, toward the center of your space. Find your right fingertips. Put a slight bend in your left knee and bring your right hand down to your left leg, head to knee for pyramid pose. Okay, now go ahead and bend that left knee. Find your mat, your chair, your wall, your block, and start to lift your right leg and your right arm for pyramid. Anything doesn't feel right, just keep your back leg down, it's fine. Okay, now bend your front knee, bring your back leg down, come back to pyramid, triangle, bring it up, 5-pointed star with the toes turned out, moonflower, elbows to waist, spring back up, and daisy, and daisy, daisy, and daisy. Come up and come into mountain pose and shake it out. All right, so let's get rid of the block. Move the chair out of the way if you're using one. And we're going to do the moon salutation without the half moon. So we're just going to flow through it from one side to the other, just having a really good time with it. Okay? Ready? We ready to have some ease and flow with the moon salutation? Oh, okay.
I'll see you later.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay. Do some fun. Oh, well, she's gone. I was going to say, do some final relaxation on your own. All right, here we go, guys. Float the arms up. And let's daisy. And step open to 5-pointed star. Elbows to waist, knees bend, moonflower, back to 5-pointed star. Triangle, so turn your right toes to the right, left toes in at an angle. Reach, 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 right hand down, left arm up, triangle. Little bend in that right knee, find your left fingertips, head to knee pose here. Left hand comes down. We're going to open back up into triangle. Come back up into 5-pointed star so the toes are facing out. Bend the knees and elbows, moonflower. Spring together and daisy. We're going straight for the left side, so let's daisy a couple more times. Daisy, daisy. Now 5-pointed star, moonflower, 5-pointed star. Preparing for triangle on the left. Reach, 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 triangle. Little bend in that left knee, find your right fingertips, head to knee pose, pyramid. Open back up to triangle. Bring it up, 5-pointed star, toes out. Moonflower, spring together, and daisy. and return to mountain pose. All right, that was a lot. So let's just come to mountain pose. Take a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. All right, shake it out. Take your legs wide again, as though you were going to come back into triangle, so that wide. Bring your index fingers to your hip creases. Your toes are facing forward or slightly turning in toward each other, and fold forward. You can keep your head high, you can go halfway, you can go low. Wherever you are, let your hands roll down your legs and then just go ahead and move around. If you're pretty low, your hands might feel better on the mat than on your legs. And make sure that your head participates, nodding yes and no. And ending on a yes. Come back to center, hands to the hips. Come halfway up from wherever you are, take a breath. And then come all the way back up. Heel toe or hop your feet together, however you want to do that. Shake things out. And then scan your body from head to toe. See what kind of movements your body is asking for, right? Sometimes it feels good to just put your hands on the wall and extend through the spine, or you might want to take more forward folds here. You might just want to jiggle and wiggle around. And start to make your way back up to standing. Roll your shoulders back a few times. All right, so now I know we all have blocks, so let's go ahead and have our blocks nearby again. Come to the top of the mat, and we'll find our way down. Okay, if there's anything you want besides a block, whether it's an eye pillow, a blanket, something to cover you up, make sure you have that handy. Float the arms up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Take a half lift. Bend at the knees and hips. Bring your fingertips down and step back to downward facing dog. All right, so our final dog of the practice. Bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees to one side, hips to the other, and go the opposite side. Side to side. Come back to center. Bring both knees down. Sit off to the side and find seated mountain pose. All right. Inhaling and exhaling. So we're going to, from seated mountain pose, keeping the legs long, folding from the hips. With a long spine, do a forward fold. So draw your arms up, inhale. And with one long spine, keep your arms by your ears. Long, 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 long. Go as far as you're going, and then just let your hands drop. Gaze toward your toes. Bring your arms back by your ears, and with a long spine, sit up. Exhale, release. Inhale and exhale. Shake everything out. All right, grab your block, go ahead and bend the knees, roll it down, and we're going to move into a supported back bend. So go ahead and take your block underneath your hips. Inhale and exhale. And this might be perfect for you on the low edge of your block. You might have a little more space and want to take your block to its second edge. If you do that and for any reason your back says, no, that was not a good idea, come back down to your first edge. If you're on your first edge, just enjoy it. Inhale and exhale. We're just doing a little supported back bend here. If you're on a second edge, go ahead and turn it down to the first. Now, one thing about this supported back bend that may not be apparent at first is that the heart is opening here, so just breathe into that a couple of times. And then lift off your block and carefully bring your hips back down. Put the block off to the side here. Inhale and exhale. We're going to let the spine stay in neutral right now and take the arms long, okay? So let's do our hands open, the fingers wide, and wiggle into a gentle fist. Open wide and wiggle into a fist. Open wide and wiggle. And now from your gentle fist, go ahead and rotate the wrists one direction and the other. Release your hands down by your side. So now the spine has had a chance to get back to, settle out a little bit from the back bending. So let's go ahead and take the right ankle across the left thigh with the right foot flexed. Draw the legs in towards you. We're coming into pigeon here. So draw the legs in towards you. Notice if your right knee is headed towards your face, and if it is, press it away, okay? And then put your right hand through your legs and hold on to either your left hamstring or your left shin. Check and make sure that your left knee is in line with your left shoulder, and we're in pigeon. So when we started class, we did a seated open pigeon. This is another version, the reclined pigeon. Send your breath to your right hip. Let the right hip open and release, and then take your left leg straight up, point and flex the foot. Circle the ankle one direction and the other. And then release everything 2 feet to the mat and let the knees gently open and close. We'll do the same thing now, taking the left ankle across the right thigh, draw the right leg in, okay? And we're going to notice if that left knee is headed toward the face, we'll press it away, put the left hand, draw the left hand through the legs, hold on to your shin or your hamstring, and send your breath into your left hip. And now holding on to the right thigh, take the right leg straight up, point and flex the foot. Circle the ankle one direction and the other. Release, unwind 2 feet to the mat, and let your knees just gently open and close here. All right, so let's go ahead and take the feet mat width distance apart. Take the arms out from the shoulders and gentle windshield wipers with the legs wider apart. So mat width distance apart. We drop the knees to the left, let the head go right, knees right, head left. All right, now come back to center. Bring your legs to touch and draw your knees in toward your chest here, okay? And we're going to let the legs drop over to the right and take your gaze past your left fingertips. Now, if your knees don't come all the way down, we want the shoulders on the mat. If the knees don't come all the way down, just let them be up a little bit. We're in a twist here. Come back through center, knees to chest, knees to the left, gaze right. Remember, you might be up a little more with the legs, that's okay. And bring your legs back to center. Put your hands on your knees now, and we're going to make some circles. So press the knees away, to the right, in, and to the left. And just keep going. And then hold your knees in, and we'll circle the other direction. Away to the left, in, and to the right. All right, and let's come back to center. Bring the feet to the mat. And gently let those knees open and close. All right, and now take a moment or two to scan your body and do any final movements that your body seems to be asking for now. Any realignment as you start to find your companion. I see tails wagging, yep. He just went into down dog too. All right, so find your way into a nice, comfortable, final relaxation position. Feel the earth supporting you. Inhale through the nose. And slowly exhale as you release your body onto the earth. So in final relaxation, our bodies have a chance to absorb the benefits of the practice that we just did. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And on your next inhale, stretch everything long. Exhale, draw your knees in. Give yourself a hug. Find your way over to the side. And back up to a nice, easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.